Now, the Prince William County Police and the prosecutor, Amy Ashworth, claims that Mustafa's case is a double homicide. That's what they put this case out there in the media. That's what they have in the courts. They're charging him with murder, premeditated murder. Now, why is it that when we go to the Commonwealth Attorney's office and we go to the police department and we want to tell them that there is evidence, video evidence from April 5th, the day of the accident, there are Google Nest videos from inside the apartment that the prosecutor refuses to look at. The police department refused to look at. Okay? Why is a prosecutor refusing to look at evidence? I went to the police department and I wanted to talk to the homicide detective. They're claiming this is a homicide. So I want to talk to the homicide detective. And what I'm being told by police officials is there is no homicide detective. That the only investigator assigned to this case is a crash investigator by the name of Robert Drum. The same Robert Drum that Chief of Police Newsham issued out a letter to Mustafa and his family stating that this officer had violated department policy with regards to the Mustafa Al-Jazari case. I mean, I find it interesting and odd that a double homicide does not have a homicide detective. I find it very odd that the police that are investigating this case do not want videos from April 5th. They don't want videos from this Google Nest that is on Mustafa's iCloud that the police department should have had access to, but they're ignoring this evidence. They're ignoring crucial video evidence that would exonerate Mustafa, that would show that the prosecutor has been lying in court for 2 years. Why is that so? Why is this prosecutor ignoring crucial evidence from April 5th? I mean, you claim that this is a premeditated murder. Okay? Think about that. Premeditated murder. You're alleging that this man had plotted this murder out, premeditated. Yet you don't want videos from April 5th from inside the apartment? The entire case of Mustafa Al-Jazari is on video. When he was in the apartment, there was a Google Nest and it was recording 24/7. Every time there was motion in front of that camera, it picked up. It was recording. Video with audio, everything happening inside this apartment is on video. Yet the police do not want this video. They don't want to see what was happening inside the apartment right before Mustafa left with Dorothy and Empress. They don't want this video. I mean, we have the body cams, and the body cams are showing a completely different story than what the police officer had written in his police reports. Okay? The prosecutor has sealed off these body cams. Okay? Unlucky for them, we have these videos. We're going through them. We're dissecting these videos, and we see that none of the body cams are matching the police reports. None of them. We have videos of Robert Drum himself from his own body cam admitting on the scene that the other driver, the Chevy Suburban, had turned into Mustafa, that he had cleared her vehicle and she turned into him. We have the data recorder from the Chevy Suburban that shows the vehicle was going over the speed limit by 13 miles an hour. We have the same data recorder that shows the Chevy Suburban never hit the brake. Never hit the brake. Yet this information, this very crucial and vital information, is missing from any of the police reports. It's missing. It's just not there. We see a body cam where a lieutenant pays a visit to the other driver, and the first thing he tells her is, "Ma'am, you have absolutely nothing to worry about." Are you promising the other driver, are you making promises to the other driver that she has nothing to worry about, and you're supposed to be investigating a crash? Is this how Prince William County conducts crash investigations? You go to drivers and you're already putting out this narrative that the other driver has absolutely nothing to worry about, regardless of what the evidence is going to show. And when the evidence doesn't match the prosecutor's narrative, you simply seal it off. Now, what's even more disturbing is that Mustafa's dash cam that was in the car records video and audio. Forensic analysis inside of this police report shows that forensic investigator Zymus had examined this dash camera, and she claims that there was audio. Yet in court, prosecutors are saying that there was no audio to this dash camera, that it had cut off prior to impact. Why would a dash cam cut off prior to impact? Why? I mean, the camera doesn't have feelings. It's not like it detected there was going to be an accident and decided to blink. This is a camera. It's recording 24/7. Okay? While going through this case, we find that there are more videos than what the police department have put in the report inside evidence.com. There's more reports, there's more videos that were deleted by the police department. These videos were deleted by the police department. I have evidence, I have videos from Mustafa's dash cam that are not in the, they're not in the discovery. Videos of his dash cam where it shows Dorothy had gone into her van prior to asking Mustafa to take her to the cemetery. Now, why would the police department delete these videos? Why would they delete it? The real question is, why is the police department actively deleting evidence from the Mustafa Al-Jazari case? Okay. Another thing is, in this police report, there's a statement by a Metropolitan DC police officer that was the first to respond to the accident. He happened to be at the scene when this accident happened, and he says he activated his body-worn camera, and then later he got permission from his department to upload his body cam to evidence.com. Now, it's been 2 years. We've had 4 lawyers on this case, and not a single one was able to identify where this video is. This video is not in Mustafa's evidence. So why is the police department deleting body cams from the Mustafa Al-Jazari case? Why? There are forensic interviews with the children, and the children are saying that there was no argument in the house. The children are saying that this was a loving relationship. And what does the prosecutor do? She seals off these videos. Okay? You look at some of this forensic interview with the children, and you can see that the child is saying that police told him that Mustafa had crashed the car on purpose to kill his mother and his little baby sister, and that Mustafa had fled the scene of the accident only to incite a negative response from this child. Why would the police department actively abuse children only to get a negative response? Why would you put a child through this sort of trauma? This child just lost the most precious person in his life, his mother and his baby sister. Why would you tell this child that your mom's boyfriend had crashed the car on purpose and he fled the scene, and if he hadn't fled the scene, then maybe your sister would have been alive today? That's a lie. We see on body cam, Mustafa was helicoptered to the hospital. And not only was he helicoptered to the hospital, he was injected with fentanyl by the paramedic, and then only to be interrogated at the hospital for over 3 hours. So, why is this allowed? That's the question. Why is the police department, why is the Commonwealth Attorney covering up for this officer's misconduct? Why is this prosecutor allowing evidence to be actively deleted from this case? Okay, you put him in jail. You put him in solitary confinement for 2 years. You extend his trial over and over and over again. He's not getting due process. Virginia's law says you should be able to go to trial within 6 months. Okay, now it's even more troubling when we look through these files, because we find out that the first 6 months of Mustafa's incarceration, he was charged with DUI. Even though at the hospital they checked his blood for alcohol and drugs, and there was none detected inside of his blood. Yet the police department and the prosecutor put these charges on him. They arrested him for DUI. Why is that allowed? And how can they get away with that?